Hi there, and welcome to episode 16 of This Might Not Work Out podcast. I'm your host, TC. And if you haven't watched the podcast before, this is essentially me talking about any random topic for literally 5 minutes or less. In the last episode, I went over by a minute and 22 seconds. Crazy, right? So I'm going to try to make sure that this time I keep it within the 5 minutes or less. So now, 26 minutes in, I'm going to get into it. And the topic that I wanted to discuss today is about a week or so old, but it is Miss Fantasia. Yes, Miss Fantasia Barrino, who is now married, and I don't know her current last name. But anyway, Fantasia, I've been a fan, pretty much a fan since American Idol. We all know her story. She was illiterate, had a kind of a rough life, but could sing. Went to the auditions with her brother, not really thinking that she was going to audition for American Idol, and ended up not only auditioning but making it, doing very, 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 very well for herself. I believe she won, or if she didn't win, was the runner-up. And then she went on to great pop and R&B fame, had lots of hit records. She has a Grammy, if not two. I know she has at least one. She's been on Broadway in The Color Purple. She has many, many albums and accolades to her fame. She's done tributes to all kind of different artists, including Whitney Houston and Aretha Franklin. She was taken under the wing of Debbie Allen and able to share. She's had some dark times too. Unfortunately, she was in a relationship with a guy that she did not know was married, I believe. She conceived a child and lost it through that relationship too. Just a lot of kind of hardship. But overall, she's been resilient. She's had some gospel music, some secular music, just a pretty all-around person, and she's done pretty well. Now, the issue at hand is she, I believe, was having an interview on the morning show called The Breakfast Club, and she was talking about being newly married, and she was born and raised in the church. Her mom is an amazing singer. There's a couple of videos going around of her mom singing, I believe it is some hymns, and it's interesting because she recorded without her mother knowing that she was being recorded. So she just started singing and the mother started singing, and it was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But anyway, she's married now, and glad that she's married, and she should be. It's a good thing. And she was essentially saying that in her household and in most households, the man should be the head of the household and the woman is the neck. And the head can't do what it needs to do without the neck, but the head is in charge. The head should lead. The women should fall back. And a lot of women don't have men because they don't know how to be submissive and fall back. And this has gained a lot of traction for all kinds of reasons. First of all, if you are not astute or aware of what it says in the Bible and the biblical ramifications of that, there is scripture that talks about the woman submitting to the man. However, when wives are to submit to husbands, husbands are also to be submissive to wives, which people don't talk about a lot. And when it says wives submit to your husband is also supposed to submit to God and therefore be the head of the household, like, and love the wife like Christ loved the church. So essentially, it's not just do whatever he says just because he's the man, but follow him as he follows Christ, which will eventually lead all the family to the right direction and the right path because they're following the right thing because it was ordained by God. Essentially, that's what the gist of it is. But a lot of people don't know that context. A lot of people don't understand that context. And there's some people that just reject it. So if you're any of those people, you would have a major problem with what she's saying. Also, some people who do know the word and do know scripture were kind of like, well, it's fine to say that, but then why do you have to put that piece in of, well, that's why you ain't got no man? Because sometimes that just comes off as judgy sounding, not for really any real reason. And sometimes it's not necessarily the case of a woman not wanting to be submissive and why she doesn't have it. There's all bazillion, quadrillion reasons why people aren't married or with a significant other or whatever. And even for those of us who have been in relationships for years and years and years and years, over half our lives, it's still hard to submit. Trust and believe, trust and believe. And submission looks different for everyone. There is no cookie cutter. This is how you submit to your husband. This is how you submit to your wife. This is how you should be submissive. Should you be submissive? And there's books and there's videos and all kinds of things. And I've run the full gamut, and I have friends who try to encourage me in that way, but it's hard. All right. Well, my time is up, and that's it. So have a great and wonderful day.